Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And welcome.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to chaos.
You didn't have to say it like that. No, let me get my mic right. As you know, this is of course a newly formed podcast. So there's certain things that might look a little bit unprofessional at the start, but we'll get it right.
You don't have to know this.
Just give us your hard-earned money, and we'll upgrade. We'll upgrade the studio accordingly. But like you said, yeah, welcome to chaos. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
I'm Dami.
And I am Petra.
Yeah, and if you let us tell it, we're great people here to give you some great opinions. But I'm sure you tell us exactly just how great those opinions are.
Please keep it nice in the comments. We want nice, genuine people with nice, genuine feedback.
Yeah.
If you have something bad to say just don't.
You said don't.
I mean,
you have to take the good with the bad. That's just humans.
and that's the good and that's the bad. That's two peas in a pod.
Yeah, say all the bad things you want. I would just mute it or block it, and
That's fine.
I don't think there's anything bad anyone can say to me right now in life that would truly affect me. It's been said already to me in high school. Just being younger in general.
You know what? Same. I feel like growing up queer in a country like Romania. By the way, I'm Romanian. Was very, very tough. But tell us about your generational trauma.
Generational trauma. I wouldn't call it generational trauma. I'd call it necessary character development.
Necessary
character development.
Do you think like bullying is necessary for a kid to become stronger?
That's a good question. That's a great place to start. Actually,
That's a great
subject to start
question.
with.
By the way, before we start, let's present ourselves.
Yeah, go on.
I think you should present me and I should present you just because it's fun.
Okay, that's gonna be fun. Okay, so this is Petre. He loves Gaga, and let him tell it. He's the biggest Gaga fan there is going. He left work early one day to go to the Gaga premiere. There's a video of him at the premiere, and he's wearing like casual office clothes, trying to be a little monster, and he looks like a little office monster instead.
Honey, I have bills to pay, okay?
Please put a screenshot.
I will. It's so fucking
Video.
funny.
He's Romanian. He's 25 years old, so his opinions are young and misguided a lot of the times.
Misguided?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Petre.
I'm not claiming no bad energy from you.
We had a close to maybe 30-minute conversation about if you wanted to buy a Kindle or a Kubo. And the selling point was the fact that the new Kindle is in color. Now, and cut my ears off and feed them back to me. I had to listen to this conversation, but
it's
again,
for the greater good.
It's just great understanding the character, understanding the person, and when you respect somebody and obviously you like them as a person, these things you're able to just pass off and just be like, that's just his character defects, which he has a lot of. You'll hear about as the podcast goes on, but we've developed a friendship, working together, and we have a lot of conversation over teams, and we decided, that might sound good on a podcast, probably.
Period. Yeah. And this is Dami.
Thank you.
He's very calculated. As you can see, he's very nerdy, very techie. What else? He's also very straight. A bit too straight for my liking, but it's fine. I feel like if someone doesn't agree with him, that's the end of the world. It's Dami's world, and we just live in it. But you know what's the problem?
Yeah.
I'm also very opinionated.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is just gonna be a constant crashing, but it's fine.
No. If I believe that I'm not wrong, then hey, we can argue till the sun comes up. If I believe that I'm wrong, I can also. I'm a good loser. I'm a bad winner. I'm a good loser.
No.
Yeah. I'm a great loser.
Sure.
I shake the hands of my opponent and say congratulations.
After you kill them.
When the competition's going, baby. You win. Congratulations. See, that's the thing. When the competition's over, I can look at you in the eyes and be like, hey, it's just competition, baby. Right. I'm not a Drake. You understand what I mean?
Right.
All right? Mm-hmm. I don't go suing people and all of that stuff. But hey, that's a different subject matter. And there you are. There we are.
Welcome to the pod, everyone.
There you go.
Thanks for making this possible.
Exactly.
Thanks for making this possible.
Hey, listen, I do my best, man. I do my
Yes.
best. I went into the bank, spoke to my accountants, put this all together. So you're welcome.
Yes.
So
We
yeah,
are-
like we said, we were on a very interesting subject there. Is bullying necessary to develop you as a well-rounded adult?
Tell us.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. I think all parts of life is traumatic. And all parts of life can serve as something that will break you or make you. Of course, bullying to a certain degree. You know, we don't want to cause any bodily harms. We don't want to. We don't want to scar someone for life by sharing an opinion that somebody can't recover from. But as we all know, human beings are resilient. So essentially, we can recover from anything. If you can recover from an illness, you can recover from some words. What do you think? I'm guessing you're gonna disagree.
Oh yes, I'm gonna disagree because as someone that also been very bullied in school,
Yep.
like you for being different, I guess. I feel like the bullying that I went through was a bit more harsh. Obviously, I don't know exactly what you went through.
I went to school with maybe two gay guys, so it's a different sort of bullying.
It's a different sort of bullying. And you know what's the problem? There's a different sort of bullying when you live in a country that's very conservative.
Exactly.
I grew up in Romania and I feel like the bullying in school from being queer, it's immense. And I don't wish that upon any of my enemies. I feel like it's really, really bad. And I feel like it scars someone for life. Obviously, as you get older, you understand that you have to fix those things because you can't walk in your shadow. But I don't think bullying is necessary. I think bullying is something very, very bad, and I think bullying it makes you stronger because you understand what you went through, so you can progress in life, and you can nothing is gonna hurt you the same way as it hurt you when you were 10. But the problem is it scars people. And there are some people that can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, me. I'm here unapologetically queer. I'm here to share this light with everyone. But there's a lot of people that can't walk from it. That it destroys them. And especially being bullied for who you are, for who you were born to be, it's really, really bad. Because baby, I was born this way.
Yeah, there's the Gaga influence. I believe they're called little monsters, more like annoying human beings.
We are.
Yeah, no, I think to a certain degree you're right. But also, the toughest battles, builds the strongest human. And you're absolutely right. The sort of bullying that I went through is very different from the bullying that you went through. And the bullying that I went through isn't like I was targeted. It was just, you are not popular. You are not strong.
Popular.
You are not cool.
You gotta be popular.
You don't have to sing. You don't have to sing to whichever word that I say. But if you want to, I'm sure somebody out there would enjoy it. What I'm saying is, it is completely different bullying. And I went to school with like two very like openly gay guys. You could tell, even if nobody ever said it, you can always tell, And
how can you tell? Tell us.
And I'd be crazy and I'd be lying to say that I was not part of that crowd. Peer pressure.
I knew it. I just knew it. He is only friends with me because gay people now are cool and he can monetize of us. I'm here because of pure pressure.
Let me explain it to you. I didn't necessarily give a shit, right? But you come in a new country and people tell you something's wrong. I never met a gay person in Nigeria. I didn't even know what that was. So you come here.
How many openly queer people are in Nigeria?
I have no idea. I lived in a relatively small village, and I was very well protected. So I didn't really experience that side of the country, which I believe is probably more outward facing now than it was back then. Well, I mean, we're talking 1994. You wouldn't know anything about that. You were born yesterday.
Baby, I was born this way.
You don't have to sing with every single thing. Okay, but what I'm saying is that you learn from that, and
Yeah.
and some of these people you come across and you see them doing really great things, and you see them, being top of the industry, and some of that comes from them having to shut off that side of their mind and really really put in the work and build a life for themselves that allows them to be comfortable, to be happy, and to be able to get away from anything that's going to cause them any harm. And I think that pain and suffering was necessary to a certain degree.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I feel like, diamonds are born under pressure, but I also feel like people need to realize that you can destroy someone's life. But what I agree with you is that, it made me, I needed to survive in order to be part of the society. So that made me feel a bit like I need to perform all the time. I need to be the buffoon of the class. I need to be the entertainer.
Yeah.
So I feel like something was born inside of me, with the entertainment power, and more of like the funnier aspect of like, everyone was grim and everyone was very serious, and I was trying to be like, be cookie just because it was a mean to survival.
Yeah.
I realized that if I'm funny, if I am likable, if I am, a bit more mainstream, then people are gonna want to be friends with me. And what was the worst part of it?
Yeah.
I was friends with my bullies because that was my way of survival. No one wanted to be my friends apart from my bullies because they wanted to bully me. So instead of being alone, I was friends with my bullies.
Yeah.
And do I like that? No. Did it scar me for life? Yes. Am I able to live and tell the story? Of course, because it was part of my life, and I'm not happy it happened, but I'm glad that it made me the person I am today. And it led to this moment. And what more beautiful place to tell your story than on the internet for people to take inspiration.
And I think as a people, we get like really bogged down in that feeling. And I think once you realize that it's just money. Like at the end of the day, you can get away from most things, almost everything, especially something as simple as bullying. Once you have money,
it's not simple. And I was not able to walk away.
If we consider the things that plague the world and the things that plague people all around the world, bullying is a very tiny aspect of in regards to suffering. If we compare that to lack of food.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
But you know what? We are here to make people laugh. So let's think about something lighter.
Absolutely.
The moral of the story.
Let's talk about funny situations that happen in your childhood, right? That's technically bullying, but now you just laugh at it. I'll tell you one, right?
Right. Tell me.
One day I was going on the bus, right?
It's about still running.
Okay, so I was coming on the bus, and keep in mind, how old are you in like year 9 or something like that?
In year 9 in Romania, I was 14 because that's the first year of high school. Because you have high school from 14 to 18. So
let's say I was 14, right?
Okay.
That's not part of the story. And I was very tall, very tall. And tall is very attractive to a lot of women, right? Now, back then...
You were 14?
Yeah, I was about maybe 6'2" by then. I was already 6'2" by then, right? So I was pretty tall, but 6'2" is nothing compared to like 6'4". Anyways, that's a different subject. I want to be 6'4".
Concentrate.
Okay, so keep in mind, I'm wearing a hoodie, coming up on the bus, tall teenager, right? And I, as soon as I come up, how bus come up, so you turn around, right, to go to the back. I don't know, the bus is in Nigeria. I don't know, you're Romanian, so this is London, England.
This is London, baby.
Right? Wood Green, right? Okay. I turn around and the girl goes and I could hear a girl goes, and she tried to do it like quietly, but she was not quiet at all. She said, "Oh, don't you hate it when a guy looks like good from the back and then he turns around and he's ugly?"
Excuse me.
Holy shit. Keep in mind, this happened when I was like, this is like plus 15, plus 20 years ago. Yeah. I remember this clearly. I can say, like, I can tell you the bus. It was the bus 102.
That's
you know
so
what I mean?
traumatizing.
It's ingrained in my mind. Ingrained in my mind.
I don't want to laugh. I don't want to laugh, but it's so fucking funny.
You know what that causes? What it causes is you looking for validation in girls that look at you. When girls look at you, you want them to think, "Oh, I hope you're not disappointed by the look of me." You know what I mean? And that's what it creates. But I laugh about it now. So I'm like, yeah, that's funny as fuck. The coping mechanism, but it's also hilarious. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie to you.
That's one of mine.
If someone said that to me,
Yeah.
I'll be like, game over. I'm done. I'm so done.
Listen.
This is traumatic, but you know what? I feel like, that's with me. It's like if someone bullies me and I don't know them, like let's say internet or like a stranger in the bus, doesn't bother me. If someone that I know bullies me, oof, it stings. It stings. And I feel like that's why when I was very young, I was quite hurt about, all the bullying and stuff, because essentially they were the people that I consider them friends. Yeah, they were people that I knew.
Yeah.
But I feel like, funny story actually.
Yeah.
Speaking about funny bullying story, it's similar to yours actually. I was walking in Stratford and I was walking in my gym shorts, and they're very like short shorts, like short shorts. And I was
your dick away.
and I was wearing, a normal t-shirt and my tote bag, I was going to the gym. I was quite femme, blah, blah, blah. And I was listening to music. Oh, life was good, honey. Life was good. And I go inside because my gym was inside of the shopping center in Stratford, which is a bit, run down and stuff.
Yeah.
And this homeless man walked past me and I heard him say like, oh, pussy-o. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And I was working in a different company at the time, and I messaged my only straight friend, and I said to him like, "What does this mean? Is this derogatory term?" And he was like, "Yeah, it is." And in my mind, I was like, "Hell yeah, it was." I was like, "Thank God," because the worst thing to me now, I feel like it's different when I was younger, but like now, if someone says to me, "You look straight," I'll be like, "No, this is bad." But if someone tells me, "You're quite gay today," I'm like, "Thank you. Thank you. I am so gay because I'm so proud of who I am." Do you know what I mean? Like, look at me. Like, I have a red microphone with red gloves, because this is expressions. I'm expressing myself.
Oh,
but goodness. I was called pussy-o, and still to this day I don't understand what that means.
It's an offensive. It's I don't think it's hateful or it's derogatory. I don't know what the fuck actually the meaning of derogatory means, right? Because that maybe borders on like hateful language.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're still bullying. It's still something that you should not tell people. Like, it's still bad.
Yeah.
But it was not like he did not punch me. He was not physical.
It's less of the word and his disgust in his face, most likely. I would imagine. Because if you're saying that to someone random, and it's not because you know them, it's like, oh, wow, this person's obviously gay, and I'm offended by that.
But you know what's the worst part of it? It's not like I was even, I consider myself, a bit like flamboyant, but I can't consider myself.
He says a bit. He's wearing red gloves.
Do you not like them, honey? Look at them.
No, not a bit flamboyant. Probably
they're beautiful.
Yeah, probably like hitting just 99.9% flamboyance.
Okay, I consider myself a bit flamboyant.
Yes.
On a regular basis. And, I don't consider myself particularly femme, like, proper, like, wearing like skirts and everything, like, no, that's not really my style. So if someone tells me that I look, feminine, for me, that is a compliment. So if someone says that to me, I'm fine, you know, and I feel like I pride myself when people tells me that I look gay, I don't want people to give me derogatory terms, of course, but if someone tells me, oh, you look quite, gay today, I'm like, thank you.
Right.
That means I'm doing something great. That means I'm really, showing my true. I'm eating myself out about it.
I don't know about that. Some people can do that. So
I just try to be unapologetically me, and I feel like sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. But that's the mystery of life.
You being unapologetically you sometimes can be dangerous.
It is
in certain environments.
Yes.
I think you being unapologetically you in almost every environment that is considered positive is a plus for you, right? Let's say in corporate life, you can be unapologetically yourself.
Yes and no. I feel like there's a fine line. Like, please, dear Gen Zs, don't go to the office dressed like you're going to the club.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
You leave that at home. You are dressed appropriate.
Let's move away from aesthetics, right? Because aesthetically,
I was thinking about aesthetics.
Yeah, aesthetically, even for a woman, you have to be careful. You can't be unapologetically yourself. If you like to be half naked, like chill. You can't do that in an office, right? But let's talk about you know, emotionally, your actual characteristics, right?
Yes and no. I feel like in corporate life, as a queer person, yes, you can be yourself, but you need to tone it down because, first of all, you don't want to be, known as the buffoon. Like I was speaking before.
Pause right there. Have we ever come across somebody in this office that was a buffoon?
Yes.
Gay, unapologetically gay, but also borderline on like you're putting on a show for everyone.
No, that's the thing with being different. If I was into the same category as Black people and like queer people as well, sometimes the show that we put on is survival. It's survival skills. You've been ingrained to be the entertainment one. You've been ingrained to be like the funny one. To a point where it becomes second nature to you, which it shouldn't be, but it becomes second nature to you. Which I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah.
No, I just think for somebody who's gay, maybe somebody who's bi, maybe somebody who's a lesbian, it's much easier to be unapologetically yourself in a corporate world. I think if you're trans, it's different because
that's a different topic.
That's a different battle.
But
right?
the thing is, like, trans people, they're not doing anything. That they are not putting a show. They are being themselves. This is who they are, and I feel like people don't get the essence
That's not what I mean. What I mean is like a trans person. Especially if you're like obviously trans, right? Because there's some people who can, to a certain degree, mask that, right? Well,
there is no such thing as obviously trans.
Okay, if a man was transitioning from to a woman, right? But he has still, let's say, masculine features.
That's normal because it's part of the transition, but it still doesn't mean that they are not trans.
A transition is exactly what it means. You're still transitioning into so within your transition, you can still look like maybe something that you want to transition away from, right? So if somebody hasn't quite done their transformation or their transition just yet, you can to somebody look like so somebody maybe who's confused about it, they can be like, well, no. Right? But, now, a trans person can't escape that because they're still part of their transition.
Of course.
So
and I feel like
it's much tougher for you to like maybe you want to hide your unapologetic self because you're still in your transition. So you have to just sit in that person, sit in that thing.
I feel like it's fine.
It's not that it's fine. It's
speaking about like trans people, their existence has been so their existence has been a bit, eaten up negatively by the press. And it's very unfair because at the end of the day, even if we are speaking about someone that is in the process of transitioning, even if we are speaking about someone that fully transitioned already, I feel like we should celebrate that because it's such a unique and beautiful thing to do. And if someone identifies themselves as trans in a corporate world, kudos to you, mama, for doing it. In this day and age, it's very important to have representation. And if someone is trans and they're coming to the office, they're very confident to show themselves unapologetically, I think we should celebrate that. And I think we should look at that with such a gratitude that, we are able to be in the presence of such person.
No, here's where I disagree with that. Right. My point wasn't to say that we shouldn't celebrate somebody's transition. My point is that their battle is different, right? Because they can't hide from what they're transitioning from, right? So they have to sort of sit in that and deal with the consequences of that. Yes. Also, you are going through a major change in your life. Now, ignorance is not acceptable, but it is happening. It is like real. It is something that people are, right?
Yes.
As well as somebody transitioning from whatever they're transitioning from, somebody can also be transitioning from being ignorant to being fully informed, right?
But I feel like that's such an easier transition.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on, let me ask you a question. Do we give grace to somebody who is ignorant, who's willing to transition to being fully informed?
Yes, I feel like it's admirable.
Yeah.
Especially speaking about like work culture and stuff, we should obviously be thankful that there are some people up here that are very happy to change the perspective in life. And I feel like, speaking about, them transitioning from being a bigot to actually being on the right side of history,
fully informed.
It's super, super important in today's age that someone, might want to learn something new.
Yeah.
But it's you know what's my problem with that? A lot of people put on a show. They don't really care about, trans people. They don't really care about queer people. They don't really care about black people.
Yeah.
They do it just to tick a box.
Yeah.
And it's very performative. Like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Teach me about the right, pronouns, or teach me about
Yeah.
the right gender, or like the right way to address this non-binary person. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you how it is.
Yeah.
But the next day, if you're coming and doing the same mistakes as before, I'm not going to be this forgiving, because at the end of the day, yes, I'm happy for you to learn, but I'm not happy for you to just say those things because it needs to tick your agenda and you want to please a crowd.
Yeah, no,
do
absolutely.
it because you care, and do it because you want to be part of us.
Yeah. Let me just say, the reason why I asked that is because when I was working at a different company, there was a lady. Well, there was a guy who wanted to be addressed as a different pronoun. So she wanted to be addressed as he as they.
Yes, that is not a guy. That is a non-binary person.
So it's a mistake. That's a non-binary person who wanted to be addressed as they them, and my brain could just not do it. Now, obviously, they were as presenting. They were obviously female.
Yes.
Right, so I would always say, "Oh yeah, she," but we got cool, because I would always say like, "Oh, you're just a dude." Like, I understood the transition, but my brain couldn't understand having to address this person as a they them. Right. So usually I'd just be like, "Yo, yeah." So she said, "Oh yeah, but you just said," and she and every time she would take it with a pinch of salt and she'd be calm about it. But I could tell, like, if we were in a different area and if I wasn't black, she would have lost her shit. Now, the fact that I was black, it was kind of, I could be like, "Yo, chill the fuck out. Like, we all got our problems. Like, what the fuck you talking about?" Right? I can do that, and I have the grounds to do that. Like, I was ignorant, and I don't think it's willfully ignorant. It's just being recognizing that you were ignorant and you need to change. But it's such a tough change, man. It's like this vocabulary that I've been taught for years, and now I have to change them. And it's so hard for me because my brain knows I'm talking to a dude. Like, I just know this is a dude. You know what I mean?
The thing is, like, you have to be respectful to people.
No. Every time I did it, I apologize. And she was also respectful. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? It's so fucking hard. And people have no grace for anybody who says, "Hey, this is very tough."
You know why we don't have grace?
Why?
Because we are so effing tired. Yeah. We are so exhausted from people being rude, for people being so ignorant, for people just being hateful. And that's the problem. It's like a lot of queer people now gave up on teaching the other people, because like we've been having this conversation for years. People have been speaking about it for years. Yeah. And it's just not clicking in some people's brains. And it's very, very frustrating. But as someone very, very great told me once, you have to tell someone 7 times for them to hear once. And it's so true. Yeah. Because I'm not saying that every single day I'm going to teach someone about, the rightful pronouns, or like, being respectful to people that might not identify with the same sex. I'm not saying this. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that we are a bit tired, but still we should understand that some people are a bit different, and some people are still learning, and they're on the learning journey, which is fine.
Can I be honest here? I hate the sentiment of being a little bit tired. Because
why?
Let me.
Are you not tired of expressing or addressing racism?
I think it's hilarious.
Why?
Okay, let me give you an example. So, someone the other day saw an advert, black guy on it, took a picture, said, "Is this you?" Right? For about 15 minutes. For about 15 minutes, I laughed about it. And you know this because I sent it over to you and we talked about it, right? I laughed about it.
Did you?
Because this person is also a minority.
Okay.
Right? So I'm just laughing, like, it's just, it's like there's real racism that I go in a workplace and I have dreads and I walk past somebody and they smile at me, but I know in the back of their mind they're like,
But I don't think dreads is that big of a deal.
See, that's what the fuck I am talking about. So you see right there, that's how I feel about pronouns. The way you think, how I look at dreads and I'm like always conscious of that. That's
why? It's your style. You should express yourself how you want to express yourself.
Petre. And I'm telling you that within our race, there's people who look at you with dreads and go, "The fuck you wearing dreads for?" Outside of the race, they're like, "Oh, that looks very scruffy and rough." Now, I couldn't give 2 shits if someone says that. because I'm going to wear my hair whichever way I'm going to wear my hair. The only people I need to understand
I whip my
who
hair
I
back
am.
and forth. I whip my hair back and forth.
Let's get strike for copyright. The only people who I need to understand who I am and be sure and accurate about every time they address me are the people that I really give a shit about. Which is why I sort of appreciated her feelings towards that. Because I'm like, listen.
Their feelings towards her.
Their feelings towards that. I'm going to sound absolutely ignorant here.
But it's fine. But you see, I am not running out of passion even if I should.
Why?
Because
you can ask me 10 times. So what does fufu taste like? And I'd be like, I don't even like fufu, man.
Yeah, but if I ask you 10 times, that is a problem. That means like I actually have a problem with you.
That's just
like that is
the
just
question
rude. It's just like I don't know. It's like, oh, are vampires actually from Romania?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's a myth, whatever. You know, it's like
wait, vampires aren't from Romania? you see, shit like that is just funny.
But the thing is like, of course, vampires are from Romania, Transylvania, blah, blah, Dracula, you know. But the thing is like, okay, ask me once. I'm going to laugh about it. We can kiki about it, you know. Right. Ask me twice. I'll be like, okay. The third time you ask me, I'm going to punch you in the neck. Like, don't do that.
Okay,
don't do that.
So I totally understand that, right? But from my perspective, right? I can't help it. Even when I'm telling you the story of how I should have fixed it, my brain is still saying that. Even though my brain knows when I speak to this person, they are a they, them.
Yes.
Right? But my vocabulary always pushes me back to she, her.
I don't know. I feel like it's an excuse.
But is it not a worthy excuse? Like, I'm not burning anybody at the stake. I'm not chasing anybody out the village.
You don't know that.
I'm just saying a wrong problem.
Burn the witch.
I think the LGBTQ plus community, just like the black community, we have to pick certain battles, right? Okay. So we have obviously there's a range, an array of things that we have a problem with because of all the suffering that we have faced, right? But certain things like if a white man said the N-word and it was like hateful towards me,
I think that's bad.
Like for real. So my reaction is to go punch him in the face.
You tell
Police, me. Jail, sue, fired, kicked out of the building.
Not kicked out of the building.
The upside does not match the fucking consequences of that action.
Yeah.
I think if someone pronounces your pronoun wrong, I think you should forever, right, say, hey, they them. And it should be that. Now
it's a bit awkward. But you know,
very arrogant.
You know what's the thing? It's like my name.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me even started.
Is it not Peter?
It's Pierre. French.
Is it not Patricia?
Patricia!
Is it not Petra?
And welcome to the stage, Patricia!
Is it not Petra?
It is.
It's Petre.
Technically, in the Romanian way, it's Petre.
Yeah. I'm saying Petra. That's a woman's name.
No, Petra, it's a woman's name.
That's what I just said. I said that to be
Petre,
willfully
it's a man's name.
ignorant.
That's my name. That's my name.
That's very straight of you.
It's Petre. No, Petre is straight. Petre. Honey!
See.
So the thing is like Petre is a Romanian version. When I moved to England, you know, trying to be, you know, part of the gang, I said, okay, my name is Petre.
Yeah.
Petre.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, oh, Petra.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's an A at the end. It's Petre.
Yeah.
And they're so ignorant. And every single time I speak with people, they're like, Petra. And I'm like, it's Petre. And I understand some people might not get it, but blah, 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 blah. It's frustrating. And it's the same thing as the pronouns. Of course, it's different, but it's kind of like the same principle. I'm telling you once, I'm telling you twice, but it's becoming awkward. It's so awkward to say.
Okay. Let me explain something to you, right? If a man that is transitioning into a woman, right, says, I've always felt like a woman my whole life, right? You have to address me as such.
Yes.
Right? And if I say, okay, I agree, but my whole life, I've known he, him, she, her.
Yes.
And it's going to be tough for me to move from that, even though I'm trying to transition from my ignorance to my, full understanding. Shouldn't there be grace for both?
Of course.
That's my whole conversation. That's my whole conversation. If I make a mistake, if it's something so like minuscule that, hey, move on.
I know.
Let me reiterate. The person that I'm speaking of was very, very, very nice about it. Even though it took me multiple mistakes to still get it wrong to this day. So I'm not saying that the person was like ignorant, but I'm just saying for anybody out there who's feeling like, oh, they're doing this on purpose. No, people have spent 20 years of their life knowing one thing.
Yeah.
And now they're the other. And now you telling me to just change overnight? It might take me another 20 years to be able to fully understand that.
Okay, damn it.
You don't agree?
No.
You don't agree?
No. You know why I don't agree?
Yeah.
Because those people are not asking you to change your whole persona. They're asking you a very, very small thing. Yes, of course, it's not going to happen overnight.
Whoa. Changing from a man to a woman to the person that's changing. Hold on, let me explain. Changing from a man to a woman to the person that's explaining. Is it the most biggest thing in the world to them? If they've always felt like that. To them, it's this is just me. Why can't you get it through your head? Now, I was indoctrinated as a child to go, you don't make a mistake.
I do.
Okay, but it's much easier for you because you're part of the community and you
Not
surround
really. That's the problem with the queer community.
Yeah.
There's so many transphobic people, and it's coming from inside of the house. It's hurting the community, and I'm being very serious. You know, like transphobia starts from home, which is the queer community. It's so bad. Like there's so many transphobic people on the internet being queer, and the I don't want to get too political, honey, but like the whole like gays for Trump, they hate transgender people and everything.
Yeah.
I understand there's a change, and obviously I'm not trans, so I can't really, my opinion is gonna be based on someone that identifies as a man and he was born as a man,
Yeah.
But the thing is like, it's difficult to learn new pronouns. I understand, but it's not impossible, and obviously it's not gonna take you 20 years because you're not learning a new language.
Whoa!
You just learn.
You can't tell me how long it takes for me to learn something.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to take you some time. And yes, there's going to be an adjustment period and everything.
What if I change my name tomorrow? You think it's going to take you a day to just remember my name?
I think it's going to take me a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Okay, so let's say I change my name. You've known me for 20 years.
Yes.
And I change my name to, let's say I change my name to Jesus, right?
Right.
And then, but I'm not always around you. I'm not always around you.
Right.
You're telling me every time I show up, you're not going to be like, Jesus.
Yeah, but the thing is like, I'm going to try my best.
And I'm trying my fucking best.
Okay. And that concludes our argument, That concludes everything. I feel like it's fine. You're trying your best. I'm trying my best. Everyone is trying their best. Yeah. The moral of the story, everyone, is that we should treat everyone with respect.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
we should have some patience for each other.
Yes, we should have some patience for each other regardless of your sexuality, gender, whatever. And bullying is not great. Period.
It's necessary.
It's not. Do you know what? I understand the expression.
We agree to disagree on that, by the way. Because we never finished that conversation. Our basic ending to that
chaos.
was we agree to disagree.
No, but the thing is like, diamonds are born under pressure. I understand that. And like, look at me. Like diamonds in the sky.
But if you put too much pressure on a diamond, it will crack.
Period.
Yeah.
And
so it's got to be the right amount of bullying. Just enough to create...
Please don't bully anyone.
Just enough to create the next Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Just the right amount of whipping, right amount of discipline. We get the next Michael Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of Michael Jackson, this is actually going to conclude the podcast. I want to go see Michael Jackson musical again, and I recommend it for anyone. It brought tears to my eyes.
I'm sorry, they are not sponsoring today's episode.
No, I'm not. They don't need to. It's Michael Jackson. You do anything for Michael. Shout out to Michael. Okay? How dare you disrespect Michael, first of all? Now, that's something that I take offense to. How dare you? Okay?
Hey, I don't want to get in the whole lore about, Michael Jackson and what he's done to these kids and whatever.
To who?
We are not going to speak about it.
Wait. Did you just say Michael Jackson and kids?
Yes.
You mean that he cherished children?
Okay, we are not going to speak about it. But what I'm going to say about Michael Jackson... No,
Petra, you just open up a fucking Pandora's...
Okay, so what I'm going to say...
How dare you?
Let me finish. What I'm going to say...
Yeah.
What I'm going to say is that Michael Jackson was a legend, whatever. Rest in peace. But what I really liked about Michael was that he believed in Lady Gaga when no one did. She was supposed to open for the London night before he died.
He believed in everything good when nobody did. It's fucking Michael. You understand what I'm talking about? The repercussions of that indoctrination into your brain that Michael did some bullshit with kids.
I'm not saying that.
It's such an effective tactic that it's being used again and again and again and again. You want to destroy somebody? Just say they do stuff with kids.
Okay, so how was the musical?
It's amazing. Young Michael came out and tears came to my eyes. He looked like me, big head, pouty, like a slightly chubby belly.
That's so cute.
Oh my God, this kid was dancing and singing. Oh my goodness, he was skinny, he was dark skin. He was amazing.
Can you start singing and dancing for us, please?
My baby.
Oh, so when I do it, that's a copyright issue. But when you do it, it's fine.
No, it was amazing, and I would recommend it for anybody. I didn't personally like Last Michael because Last Michael was too buff, and he was too.
No, when I saw the musical, he was skinny.
Yeah, they changed the guy, right. So they moved the guy. So it's a new guy now, and he's a little bit just too buff for me. I had some tattoos on his right arm, I want to say. So they had this band to cover it. Huh?
They can cover it.
No, they had a band to cover it, is what I'm saying.
But you can have makeup.
Yeah, but obviously he's dancing, he's sweating, he's probably going to sweat it off. So it's better to just put like a band to it. And it looked Michael Jackson-y anyway, so it wasn't too big of an issue.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. It was amazing. It was really
I'm
nice.
glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a fun time, and thank you everyone for watching this.
Yes, thank you for watching. There's a few cancellable opinions that I had in there. Lucky for you,
fine. You can cancel him. Just
lucky for you, I barely have a savings account, so you have no
but
money
you know
to
what?
take.
It's fine because he's not gonna read the comments anyway. I'm gonna need to deal with all the burden of reading the comments, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Thank you for listening.
And please,
we appreciate you. We hope you enjoy the show. Can you not talk over me, please? Sick of your ass, man.
Excuse me.
This guy.
Honey, I'm doing what I want because this is a free country.
Don't point your gloves at me. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.